Hey, I'm back, guys, and I'm down here in the kitchen. Now, I told you there's going to be several things that we're going to be doing. We're going to be playing a little bit of science experiment while we're in math. So, Mr. Jones, I hope I can do this as well as you do. So, here we go. First off, scholars, I need a brave person who's going to volunteer to read our objective. It is a longer one and a little bit more complicated. I'm going to pause the video, give you about 30 seconds, pausing in 3, 2, 1, pause. Excellent. Yes, I love it. I love it when somebody volunteers. I love it when you use a strong voice to speak. Scholars will be able to use multiplication to compare cubic volume to liquid volume in milliliters. Basically, what it's saying is that we're going to take these cubes and we're going to fill up a box or a container, see how many cubes it takes, take the cubes out, then I can put some water, and we're going to measure it in milliliters to see if it comes out to the same. So let's see if our experiment works out. But like any good experiment, we have to keep records. So what we're going to do, I want you to take notes. Excuse me. And the paper I'm going to be talking to you about is going to look similar to this. You'll be filling it out after we go through all of this on our Draw It. Okay. And basically, you got to know the box number. This is going to be box number 1. We're only going to do 1 because that's the only thing that time allows for. How many cubes are going to be packed there? The length is going to be measured in centimeters. So is the width, the height, and the volume. And then we're going to go down here to box number 1, and we're going to find out how much water it holds. See if it holds the 250 milliliters that I'm trying to get in here. And then we have another experiment that we're going to do to see if a centimeter is equal to a milliliter. So let's get experimenting. Let's get started. All right, guys. This is the box we're going to fill up. As you can see here, I've already put some cubes in there. I put the first layer down, and you can see that it doesn't fill up all the way. I have 9 blocks of 10, and this is about 9 1/2 right there to go ahead and fill it up all the way to the end. All right. And so I know that it takes 12 all the way across, so that my length is 12. Make sure you put length is 12. So put it in your notes. Length is 12. And the width is, this is the width from here to here, is 9 1/2. 9 1/2 centimeters. Now this one's a little bit trickier, but I measured it and I marked it off right here. And it is 2 centimeters with 2/10. So it's 2 2/10 centimeters for the height. All right. So we have that there. I'm going to use a calculator to save us time. The reason I'm using a calculator is so that we can go through this a little bit quicker, as you can see it here. But if you take 12 centimeters times 9.5, that gives us 114 cubes that will cover the bottom. That's the first layer. I need a second layer of 114. So I'm going to add 114 to it, and that gives me 228. Now I'm going to multiply 2/10 times the number in my first layer. Who can tell me what the number of the first layer is? I'm going to pause the video here. Pausing in 3, 2, 1. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Yes, you remembered there were 114. So I'm going to take 0.2 2 or 2/10 times 114. And that gives me 22 and 8/10. I'm going to add that to the 228. And that gives me a total of 250 and 8/10 of cubes that fill this in. And this is what I got so far. Now, that means that I have to fill it in with water now. So how am I going to do that? Well, first I'm going to empty this out. I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to show you that I have some water right over here that I've already filled up. And I filled it up to 250. Let's see here. Can you see that? See how it's just on the top portion. Oops, let me go down a little bit here. Of the 250 is just hitting. So that's going to be approximately 250.8. I do not have a graduated cylinder, so I'm looking at this here. Now let's see, does this fit? Does this hold that much water? Well, let's find out. As you can see, I'm still filling. I'm filling it all up. I'm almost to the brim. And looky there. Look at there. This is empty. That holds 250 liters. Wow. Is that letting us know that these 1 cubic centimeter is equal to 1 milliliter? Let's try something else out. Let's go ahead and take my syringe that I have here. Have a little syringe. All right. And as you can see, it goes up to 10 milliliters. So on our paper, I want to make sure everybody is taking notes. On the paper here, on this first box right here, you're going to be putting in 250 milliliters. So we can see that it's equal. But what I'm going to do now is take this and fill it up with 10 milliliters worth of water. Should be right there. And what I'm going to do is take some of this red dye, put it into this cup. It's a gel, so it does not add anything to it. The water will mix with it. The reason I'm doing that is to see if we can get So I just put 10 milliliters into this cup, as you can see. I'm going to take 4 more milliliters because I want to see if I can add 14 milliliters of water in there and then drop one of these cubics in there to see if it equals 15. If it does, that means that our experiment shows that our cubic centimeter is equal to 1 milliliter. So let's find out. There we are. We're almost at 4 right there. Let's see what we got. Trying to get every drop out of there. And if we notice this, I'm going to close this and move it out of the way because I'm going to move this down. Trying to see where I can get to the 15, but we can see the line there. You can see it's not quite up to the line there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the cube and see what happens. Oh wow, you can see it now. It's right on the line. Let's take it all the way around. See where it says 15 milliliters? It's right on it. Wow, we just found out that 1 cubic centimeter is equal to 1 milliliter. So as good scientists, we're going to make sure that we record our experiment, and you're going to be doing that on the piece of paper that I showed you earlier. It's going to look like this right here. And we're going to do, it's going to look something like this. It's kind of wet there. Make sure that you go ahead and fill that out. And what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to put that we first added 10 milliliters and then 4, so made a total of 14. Then we dropped the cube and it became 15 total. 15 milliliters. Okay guys, I'm going to pause the video and have you go and fill out the paperwork. Pausing in 3, 2, 1.